I'd like to call to order the meeting of the licensing board. Today is Wednesday, January 23rd. For the record, all members of the board are present. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived, by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. First item on the agenda is the transfer of license, pledge of license for RAJ Deep Inc., 1331 Pleasant Street. For the record, the chair will not participate.
Good evening, members of the board. For purposes of the record, my name is Peter Solino. I am a lawyer with offices at 550 Locust Street in Fall River, Mass. I am the applicant's attorney for the application that is before you this evening. The site is Leonard's Package Store on Pleasant Street in Fall River. The transfer is contemplated to occur on or before the end of February, pending the transfer of the license. It's an all-alcohol license. The corporation buying it is Raj Deep Inc., which I incorporated on January 4th. The proposed manager is Tarun Patel, who is here with me tonight. He, through family ties and relations, has experience and interest in other stores kind of throughout the Commonwealth of Mass. At one point they were in Western Massachusetts. Now they have operations in Fall River and Westport. He will be the manager. He will be on site 40 hours a week. I think I've submitted everything relative to the package, inclusive of the purchase and sale agreements, etc. And and they're going to finance with Rockland Trust, hence the pledge. And we have a letter from the bank, which I'd like to add to the file in that regard.
Okay.
All right?
I know you were in front of us at our last meeting, so we had some housekeeping stuff.
Yes.
to do. I don't have any questions. Any questions from the board?
No questions, there's be no changes?
No changes. You're going to operate the same store.
Just going in and,
Good,
all
good,
right,
great.
taking over.
Is
Okay,
there anyone else here in favor? Anyone opposed? Can I get a motion?
yep, I'll make a motion that we approve the transfer of license.
And I'll second that motion. There's been a motion made and second. Anyone else here in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
for coming.
Thanks.
Right. Take it easy.
Yeah. Next item on the agenda, Troy City Brewery. You want that one?
Great job.
Thank you.
Well,
Okay, an entertainment license for Troy City Brewery. Could you just state your name and address? for the
Sure,
record?
Michael Ferrera, 21 Seaview Street, Fall River, Mass.
Okay, and you're looking for recorded music or live music?
Correct.
I imagine, Mike, these hours run concurrent with the license?
Correct, yep.
So it's Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m. to 12 a.m., Friday, 4 to 12, Saturday, 11 a.m. to 12, and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Correct, yep.
And it's for recorded or live music. Okay, any questions for the members of the board?
No questions.
Is there anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed?
I'll make a motion that we grant the entertainment license.
And I'll second that motion.
It's a motion made and seconded to grant. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Good
Okay,
luck.
thank you.
That's
Good evening.
everything you need now,
That's
right? You're
everything,
all set?
yeah, I think we're good.
We'll make some money.
That's right, yeah, gonna get to work now.
The Red Hen, 85 Anawan Street, Alex Colazzo. This is a change of hours. It's not, he's supposed to be here, right? All
Make a
right.
motion that we table.
And I'll second that motion.
Table, motion to table. Anyone in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item on the agenda is an informational hearing for Berta's Restaurant, Tapas and Bar, 201 South Main Street, Berta, Cunha.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. SAS, for the record, Attorney Gregory Brilliant on behalf of basically the Portuguese Cultural Center, Inc., and I'm going to answer for Berta Cunha as well. Members of the board, you're obviously quite aware of what used to exist here in the building, meaning Trio Restaurant. Okay? What Mr. Silva, who is the the principal in Portuguese Cultural Center, Inc. would like to do is open up the same type of situation, and the place will be called Bertha's Restaurant, Tapas, and Bar. It's going to be under the same situation, meaning the liquor license is held by Portuguese Cultural Center, Inc. Mr. Liberal Silva is the manager. He will continue to be the manager. The two individuals here, Mr. Pereira and Ms. Cunha, are going to go in there and operate the restaurant, okay? And all of the receipts are going to be given to Portuguese Cultural Center, Inc., and then they're going to, in turn, pay back all the expenses for these people running the restaurant. But he realizes he's in charge of the liquor license, he's the manager, he has to be there on a regular basis to oversee what's happening. It's really akin to what was done with Trio. Trio didn't work out at the very end. The place has been vacant. It's a very nice place, I think a lot of us know, when Trio was open. So he's hoping to do the same thing then with these two particular individuals. We know that everybody saw on the internet that it was supposed to open on February 1st. They were not trying to circumvent anything with this board or the city. They've been to the health department. Up until now, I believe the proper inspections have been made. You guys got to go out and inspect, Mr. Chairman?
No, that's what I was gonna ask you, if, were there any renovations made, or was
No.
it just cosmetic?
Not even cosmetic, to be very frank with you. Right now, clean it up
And
and
that was it, so nothing's been moved, everything's in the.
nothing,
Need to do an
nothing at all,
inspection either.
nothing at all.
So, if I just understand it, there's gonna be a written agreement between
Yes.
the people
Yes.
operating the restaurant and
Yes.
Mr. Silva.
They hadn't done that, I'll be very honest, they hadn't done that, it was a handshake agreement between
Right.
these people, they know each other, but I'm gonna reduce something to writing.
To writing,
And I'm gonna
okay.
try to clean up the one that was formally given by.
So whatever they're doing between them doesn't really affect us,
No.
because it's Mr. Silva's liquor license.
Absolutely, and he's well
And that's
aware,
not
and I've
gonna
instructed him, that's not gonna change, and he's
Okay.
on the hook for the taxes, he's on the hook for the liquor,
liability.
the liability insurance, and so forth and
Yeah.
so on.
All right, I don't think, as long as there's no changes to the establishment, right, we don't need an inspection.
Absolutely not.
And it doesn't really, what are the hours that you're gonna be open though?
I didn't think there could be a change in hours, I thought it went by the liquor license
Well,
that
that's what I
presently
didn't know,
exists.
do you
And
wanna
I-
keep what's on
And
the
I'm gonna be very
license?
frank with you, I was gonna ask Miss Ash tonight if she knew the hours of operation, because as long as they coincide with what they wanna do. Do you have
Well,
specific hours?
they're only really truly getting a common vic license,
That's what I thought it was as well.
so I think they can have,
How about the alcohol?
right, but that really just kind of, I think.
It's all part of, the way I understood it, Mr. Chairman, and I don't
So
wanna,
there's not a separate, the common vic license is in their name?
They've
correct.
done nothing, they have to come to the February meeting.
Yeah. So, but for now, it's gonna be under Mr. Silva's name?
No, it's gonna be Berta. It's just a regular common vic, because.
That's the way it was before Trio had its own. And they have to come to the February meeting, so they can't open February 1st?
No, I did tell her that too.
Okay. Okay. That's the way it was before, Mr. Chairman. It was a common victualer's license in Trio, Inc. And as far as the liquor license, it was all under the umbrella of the Portuguese Cultural Center with the same
So,
manager.
but if the liquor license is to the culture, let's just think of this out for a minute. If the liquor license is under the Portuguese Cultural Center, that's a common victualler license, correct, with the liquor?
Yes.
So technically, there is a common victualler license there, correct, for the restaurant?
Yeah,
Because Mr. Silva's license would cover the entire building.
Again, that's what I thought, and that's why they had
It's
to,
just dormant, but it's got everything.
Right, it's
Right,
there,
right.
so I think if they're going to, I guess, depending on what your agreement is, however you are going to work that out legally between the bodies.
right.
I guess if they have to apply for a separate common vic license under Berta's
Berta.
Restaurant, they can do that for the February meeting, but between now, this license was renewed, correct? So between now and that meeting, they could operate
Under
under,
liberal.
Liberals.
because all the proceeds are going to him anyway.
I agree, I agree,
And then
but
guess,
they want to
it's
make
none-
sure.
It's none of my business, but I would imagine that he's gonna pay some kind of salary back to them
Correct,
from
Correct.
Portuguese Cultural Center,
correct.
correct?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
So operate under liberal's umbrella until February.
Until the meeting.
I did speak with the Board of Health, and I don't know that he's going to, I'll talk to him tomorrow, but there might be a little hiccup with that. I don't really know where they're at.
They went, I think they did it today.
He did go there, I know, but he was waiting to see,
But I
how
think,
we were gonna.
well, if the Board of Health has been, it would be approved to Liberal Silva,
Correct.
right?
No, because he thought it was gonna have to be under Berta.
But what difference does it make? The inspection's the inspection.
See, that's why I thought it
Whether
was,
it's,
Mr.
whether
Chairman.
it's Liberal or Berta operating it, it's the same inspection.
See, my understanding was, and Ms. Ash, I could be wrong, and I know it gets a little confusing. I thought that Mr. Silva, under Portuguese Cultural Center, has licensed, whether it be common victualer's license, liquor license, for the entire establishment, the entire building, which included the area that was formerly Trio. I do realize that if Bertha comes in now with a new establishment in terms of a new name, they could have to go in and get another common victualers, but I didn't even think they had to do that. I thought we just have to put together a,
So Tony and Brian had a second common vic in addition to a, I don't remember that.
I don't remember it either.
Yeah,
I didn't think so.
Attorney Brilliant, I think.
I don't think they did. I think it was
Everything was
always
still
under
in
his
the
name.
Yeah.
And without getting into much detail, I think because when that relationship fell apart, that's why Mr. Silva found himself in the situation he was in.
because to be honest
It
with,
was all in.
because to be honest with you, Mr. Chairman, Ms. Ash, they used the same kitchen.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
it's all the same kitchen.
It's all the same kitchen, so I was always under, and I didn't do any of the legal work for Mr. Silva, it was Mr. Attorney Long.
So I guess, and I don't think this is what happened the first time, but I think it'll happen this time, is there's gotta be some kind of legal arrangement between Mr. Silva and these people as far as what he needs out of that to cover his expenses and and the remainder would be through salary to her. She would become an employee, they would become.
Or a
an
1099,
employee
however they do it from a
1099
tax sta-
of the
I agree
Portuguese
wholeheartedly.
Cultural Center.
I agree wholeheartedly, that's what
I
it
think that's the way it
is.
should be done. So if the Board of Health has done their inspection and there was no problems.
I was
And I
told
think
today
we're
they
ready
even
to go.
inspected that site as well, there's no problems,
Why
but
would it- Did they say why it would make a difference?
Who's they?
The Board of Health?
Because, I don't know why, because we did think she needed to, I can say this much. I know if none of this happened this evening, a name would have been up on the marquee and everybody would have been like, what's going on? So we needed to get an informational hearing, this is what
Yeah,
we're doing
all
now.
right, so I think what the Board of Health, who's the inspector that went? I think he just needs to be told that the board agrees it operates under the name of the Portuguese Cultural Center, and whatever agreement Mr. Silva comes to with these people as his
I
tenant.
think I remember what it was, it's a serve safe thing, they didn't get all the qualifications they needed with the Board of Health. I think that's what it was.
I don't know, I wasn't there, I just spoke to Mr. Pereira, I can work that out with,
Okay, but those are things that could be worked out in the next couple of days.
absolutely.
I mean, get you
And
in
then
there.
I don't think there's any delay in them opening because the license is there.
Correct.
Right.
And then
think
if,
that's
and then
what
if we
we
do
have to
file for a separate common
Okay.
vic, we could be in February.
Yeah, I don't think
I
there
don't
needs to
think
be
that
though, I
would
don't
be
think
the
how they
need,
would
yeah.
do that.
Mr. Chairman, I agree wholeheartedly.
Because I think it has to be all under Mr. Silva's.
I don't remember Brian and.
And if
Tony
Mr.
having
Silva
that
is willing to do that, which I'm sure he is, because I'm sure he'd rather have a tenant there than an empty storefront.
Correct, correct.
He knows what he's getting into.
He knows the risk. I've
Right.
told him, trust me, I've told him. And I've told the people that are going to be
Yeah,
operating
and
it what's
However
involved.
it's worked out financially, that's their business, that doesn't
Correct.
affect us, because all we care about is that the license is in Mr. Silva's name.
And he's the manager?
Qualified, he's the manager,
Manager.
he's responsible if there's
So
a
she's
problem.
basically an employee?
Well, that's kind of what it will come out to be, it could be whatever tax-wise, what's best, I would imagine for Mr. Silva.
Right.
How it would be operating, yes.
It's kind of like what we let over at the Abbey, the manager operate, even though he wasn't the manager last month because it was falling
Yeah.
under, what's his name?
Comes under the other license.
I wasn't sure if the legal agreement, ABCC doesn't need to see any of that, right?
No, because
Because
as far
it
as
stays
they know,
as
it's
is.
Mr. Silva.
Yeah.
That's the same thing as if I owned a liquor license, I could lease out the restaurant to whomever.
Right, right.
The liability is still mine.
All yours,
It's
exactly.
It's the Liberal Club.
Right, the Liberal Club, same thing with the kitchen and the,
Right, you may
Yeah.
have to
not
make sure
just the Liberal,
everybody
the
got-
Liberal Club itself.
right.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing, that's a private club.
Yep.
But they lease out that kitchen.
Right, what about them having the tip certification too?
Well, that all, whoever's working in the business has to be qualified.
They have to be tip certified, I believe, Miss Ash, even if it was under the umbrella of the cultural
Oh,
center.
Right.
Oh, I know.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
Because if they're not, that's an issue for Mr. Silva.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I think after the last time, I think he's
Uh,
gonna be very sure that everything's.
I would hope
just
so. I would hope so. Last time was not a good ending
Right, so-
for Mr. Silva.
Well, if nothing else, it was a learning experience, so you know what not to do this time.
Exactly.
So when you do open though, what are you thinking of hours?
Oh,
I wanna open for lunchtime, 11:30
Mhm.
during the week until the kitchen closes at 9. The bar probably around 10,
Mhm.
and the weekends until 2 in the morning.
Okay, so you want the full on the
I think they
license?
have- Yes.
And I think, and I didn't check, but I've looked at a Knoll file, I think that's in accordance with what presently exists for the cultural
The
center.
licenses.
I believe,
Okay.
that's
So
subject
you want to
to
keep it basically in the same-
status quo.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with that. I think once the Board of Health is satisfied, I think they'll be fine.
And I can call Mr. Ash tomorrow, if Bob has a problem over there, we have to do it another way. I mean, we can open up, let them do their thing, and I'll do whatever paperwork's necessary for February.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you, members of the board, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks. Thank you. You're welcome.
The Red Hen, 85 Anawan Street.
Oh, I apologize for my tardiness, my appearance.
Okay, state your name and address, please, for the record.
Alex Galazzo, 274 Lincoln Ave, Fall River.
Okay, so you're looking for an entertainment license for live music,
Correct.
and what's the change of hours?
Um,
Are two different things?
Yes.
Yes. All right, so the entertainment license, you're looking for live music, which includes dancing by patrons.
Yeah, good. No, technically no dancing, it's just single acoustic, no
Okay.
extra. There's no dancing. There's no dancing. We don't have enough space, no space for that. We don't accept that.
So on your application, you have Sunday, but you know that we can't issue a license for Sunday?
Yes,
You have to
yes.
go to the mayor's office for that?
Correct. I just put all my hours on
All
there
right,
just
so
in
then
case.
Monday, he's looking Monday, 5 PM to 1 AM, Tuesday, 5 PM, 1 AM, Wednesday, 5 to 1, Thursday, 5 to 1, Friday, Saturday, 5 to 2. It's Friday, I'm sorry, 5 PM to 2, Saturday, 12 PM to 2 AM, Sunday would not be within our control.
Correct.
So that's the hours he's looking for,
Beautiful.
okay? So I guess we should do this the other way. There's a request to change the hours. And it's what I just read. Sunday, 12 PM to 1 AM, Monday through Thursday, 5 PM to 1 AM, Friday, 5 PM to 2 AM, Saturday, 12 PM to 2 AM.
Correct.
Okay? So that's what they're asking for the hours. So is there any questions?
No questions.
Anyone else here in favor? Anyone opposed? Is there a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the change of hours.
Now second that motion?
So motion made and seconded to approve the hours. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
And then the entertainment license for live music, same hours except Sunday is eliminated.
Okay.
Okay? Any questions?
No questions?
Is there anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we grant the entertainment license.
Now second that motion?
Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Take a motion, adjourn?
Was like,
And I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.